Good evening everyone and welcome to Off the Line Racing. We are back for another round of racing, and where else to go? It's round 2. We're over in Bahrain. Sakir, one of the hottest tracks on the circuit, was first introduced in 2004. It is 5.412 kilometers long, 3.362 miles with 15 turns. You're at full throttle for at least 72% of your lap, and it should be a mighty fine race to see. So, join with me in the comms booth. It's the mighty Rob Star. How are we doing, mate?
Hello, I'm doing alright, you know. It's quite interesting to see these people drive again after seeing Monza last week. It's quite an interesting race. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. We shall take a quick look at the calendar so we can just review quickly what else is to come. So, obviously, Italy out of the way with the race winner ousted there, as you can see. On to race 2's Bahrain. Here we are for Sakir. It's Hungary, Italy, Belgium, Austria, China, Jeddah, one of my favourites, Saudi Arabia, and then over to Abu Dhabi, and on to Silverstone, and then finally race 11 finishing in Brazil. Let's quick look at the drivers' standings. The mighty Monza race saw the McLaren of Ulster take the victory there. We're not seeing the points. Oh, just noticed that, but he was the first now in the Drivers' Championship. AMS Knight and the Mercedes did take P2, and PW Jones in the Kick Sauber getting that surprise podium finish. Josh B13 was your pole sitter from Monza, but didn't get up there and take the race victory after a couple of issues that happened just in front of him. But as we move down now, it's Betsgate, Lanky, D Summers, Piney Penguin, IRT Nick and Lugate. Lugate P2 in qualifying, but again couldn't make nothing of it in the race. As we move on to the Constructors' Championship, it's a bit wide there, apologies for that. I've just realised what it is. It's wide. But McLaren leading, Mercedes, Kick Sauber, Alpine, RB, Haas, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Williams and Red Bull struggling with the points. But now we need to get ourselves into the qualifying session.
Yeah, looks like some people going out already. As you see, Camrat Cliff would be the first one maybe to start a flying lap. So let's go on board with him. Let's see what he can do around this track of Bahrain.
Something I do need to mention, you are noticing the world cars once again, because we still are unsure if that has been repaired. Is the car equal now on the team cars? Something that we do need to look into getting tested, but in the meantime we are running the world cars. But I quite like this pack, because once again we get to see the liveries, we get to see what people can produce, anything they can make.
Yeah, it's quite nice, but some cars are really not in the right colour, shall I say. It's really hard to track on the minimap, but that should be all fine as we all here to see the drivers go around the track and race and then race and race to see who is the fastest.
Can barely hear me. Are you sure? I should be working fairly well. If apologies if there's an audio issue, I don't know why. Nothing's really changed from when I had a little bit of a stream test.
Well, what's that
Carry
was
on
happening?
quiet.
Cam Ratcliffe nearly spun it out the last corner, going to turn one now. What can he do? Going down to second gear, touching that curb a bit too much here. On down to the inside, round turn three. Going up to turn four now, opening that DRS flat.
I should be a little bit louder. Should be a little bit
And
louder by now. But yeah,
obviously
as you
Cam
say, on
Ratcliffe.
with Cam Ratcliffe as he comes round turn 5, 6, and now just swinging it round that 7th corner, the little S section in Bahrain before he has to slam on those brakes and send it round to the right of the hairpin. Very tight indeed. He's got to try and keep it nice and bonny. It's awkward to get the power, especially through that section, as it's more the up and down part of the section. A bit of an incline there as he just finishes turn 10 and gets back onto the second DRS zone. Opens that rear wing wide open, flat to the floor before he needs to swing it round into the infamous fast left-hander of turn 11. Once you get round here, you can really get back onto the power as you power on towards turn 12. Does nicely, finishing his second sector. Of course, it will be purple. He is the first car to set a lap as he finishes turn 13 and gets onto the back straight. No DRS here. This is just where the detection point is.
Definitely got to burn all your ERS. And down to the final corner now, turn 14. What can he do? Pretty sure he got some people behind him. Let's see if we can beat him or not. But it goes pole so far. Let's wait on the other people. What can they do?
29.4, it's not too bad. Not too bad of a lap. Who's next to cross the line? It's not Sam.
Josh. Be Josh B13X going down the, well, should I say down to turn 14 now on the last corner.
Oh, nice little livery
Curb
there from the
a
driver.
lot.
27.5. Wow! It's almost 2 seconds quicker as Nick. There it is. So I think Cam is doing 2 out-laps, if not. But Loogie there, jumping into P3. Sam sets a 29.482. PW Jones 29.493. So there's 29s, there's 128, and then there's 27s. My. Nick taking the current provisional pole, looking mighty spicy from Nick today. I can't remember what specific team he's in, however. He's rocking red. I think they may be indicating Ferrari. I'm not entirely sure, but he's rocking a red car, as I think he was in a red car the week before also. But he is looking at that pole position.
Actually, he's in the Williams.
We are on board with Grelis coming round with a finish. Oh no, he's backing off. Warming those tyres up to double out lap. The orange cars, Tom H coming up behind him. Who else do we have?
Got D Summers out there. Andrews, I think, going up to turn 12 now, going round the wide right-hander. Up to turn 13. I don't think it's a push lap though.
Right, I'm on board with Grelis as he gets into turn 1 and tries to get the power down ever so gently into turn 2 and fire it out of turn 3 to open that rear wing and set himself up for turn 4. Getting the maximum speed that he can do, opening that rear wing. I wonder if he's using any battery there. No, he's going to try and recharge a little bit. See, the DRS, with it being changed now in the new game, it certainly opens setups a different way in the way you're driving quality. It's a purple sector 1 for Grelis. It's looking mighty good on his outlap. On his flying lap, should I say.
Yeah, it looks like he's really pushing that car around, using all that ERS, going a bit wider, using the curb most of it. Open the DRS flap now. What can he do onto this next corner?
Not entirely sure, but he fires it into turn 11, trying to not run wide. Though it's very easy to run wide and carry a lot more speed, and as you get the power down, you're still sort of locked into steering angle. You finish your second sector and it's not purple, so he gets his power down once again. Maybe had a bit of a suboptimal line, didn't have the line that he wanted coming through the end of second sector there, but he's looking like he could be in the 28s at least.
Yeah, let's see what you can do now. Will he jump up?
28 to 29.
Fine. Oh, looking a bit quite slow for sector 2 and sector 3.
Ooh, Sid's a 28.8, so Sid there being the closest driver to Grelis, who we just followed for a lap. There's still 4 tenths to gain for Grelis for him to get close to Sid. Luke is a 28.6. So a couple drivers being knocked down from some of the younger drivers that are here in the league in this race. It's looking like it could be anybody's race at this point, but Josh, your pole sitter from last race sitting in P2, could potentially be looking for that race win, as it was just not what he got last week.
Oh, he's got glitch about to go across the line here around the final corner. I'm really liking that livery. I can't lie from glitch. Looking a bit spicy, but goes across the line. What can he do? Up to P5 in the 128s and into the 127s.
Ooh. Didn't get the 27. Maybe had a bit of a rough first or second sector. Weren't on board with the driver, but he's still P5. Say he did have a couple of squabbles. Maybe being close to that 27. He's only a tenth away, but he needs to gain 4/10 to jump Lugie, who's now on his outlap, along with Nick, Josh and Ouster. Ouster being your race winner from Monza, setting up a good drive. He qualified P3, so he already had the pace. But Josh was the pole sitter. He really pushed on and really got himself out there into what was a race finishing position. We got tangled up in an incident, I believe, just never got reported. So all is well, all is fair in racing.
Yeah, well, I'm on board with Leclerc right now. He's got a purple sector too. So it's looking quite quick out there.
Leclerc potentially getting himself into the mix.
To the final corner now. Gets it nice and clean. Uses the curb a tiny bit. Open the DRS flap now. It goes pole by a few milliseconds there. By 60 milliseconds.
600th, should I say, of a second.
Quite
Just
close there.
mighty fine lap from Leclerc. Is this his first showing? Was he in the race last week?
No, it wasn't.
I don't think he was, but certainly come out here in Bahrain and set what is the provisional pole time, looking mighty fine on his first showing in OTLR. It could be a potential race victory if he's got the race pace. Qualifying is certainly something different.
Let's see what he can do, you know. He's got some more competition after what we saw last week in Monza. So, if he wants to win, he really needs to push it real hard. After we've seen what we've seen last week, it was very intense.
AMS Knight coming to cross the line. What could it be? P6, a 27.8, so knocking Glitch 10 down. Again, another driver making it into the 27s. Will Glitch come out and set another lap? Nick sets a new pole position time. It's a 27.2. Beautiful lap. Nick is mighty strong here in Sakhir. Really knows the track and how to push those boundaries, pushing to the limit of his ability. This is looking fantastic for Nick. If he can just keep his nerve and keep that race pace, it's a race victory surely in hand. Qualifying certainly is starting to get a bit spicy here.
But Josh is really pushing the car around. Yeah, Josh is really pushing the car. You can see almost going off the track there around turn 13, but going up to turn 14 now. What can he do? Uses most of the curb on the left-hand side. Don't touch the curb on the left-hand side on the exit. Gets the power down. Opens the DRS flap and gets by a whole tenth.
Tenths separating these drivers. It's the fine margins. It's just under a tenth by Josh. Could Nick gain that time? Does he have it in him? Is he on another lap? He's up on his delta, so he's not on another lap. Ouster went up by a tenth, I believe, or maybe is doing another lap here. Leclerc has been dethroned from that provisional pole, and Josh being the pole sitter once again. He did it in Monza, he's doing it in Bahrain.
Yeah, looks like some people are really having fun out here, you know, getting pole after pole, but then getting taken by some other drivers. Very intense out here around this Bahrain track.
It certainly is indeed. Certainly bringing the track to life. The drivers going all out, all systems blazing, trying to get that provisional pole position and potentially control the race from the start. They want the Grand Slam. They want the pole position. They want the race victory. It's all to play for, but at the moment, it's going to be very close between Nick and Josh, providing that Nick comes out once again. We still have just under 6 minutes remaining of this qualifying session. So there is still time for them to go out and really push when the track is at its peak condition, when it's at the best it could be with the track evolution. Everybody's setting those laps, putting down that layer of rubber on the tarmac.
Yeah, looks like we'll be waiting for the final few minutes to push and get their final laps in, like you said. So this is definitely going to be an interesting qualifying from the boys here. So let's see what we can do.
I think with that time that Luke is potentially pushing for set another lap, we're currently on board with him. He's going to get that rear wing wide open. He's going to send it all the way to the line. What will it be? Oh, it was an half a second improvement. He's still in P8. Oh, did he move up to P8? I think he's still there in P8. Oh, moved up with the current times. P10, I think he was. He's 2 places up. So looking currently interesting. There's going to be a midfield battle. You can see it here. Unless these drivers can improve these times, there is going to be a midfield battle. But then there's quite a margin there, where you've got 29 runners. So, this is just anybody's race at the minute for the top, I'd say 4, maybe 5 drivers at least.
Yeah. Top 5, it's looking real close. So maybe we can see a DRS train again like we saw in Monza.
Potentially. But with it being Sakir, those tyres are going to want to be managed more effectively. There's still a lot of heat in the track. The track gets very, very warm as the drivers send it around these harsh corners. That's why the track is run at night, but there's still that great potential of heat and tyre degradation. I think the deg is going to be very, very high, especially on a track like Bahrain, just known for its temperature, known for its abrasive track surface.
Definitely. This is where the drivers actually need to focus, you know, real hard if they want to stay in the race.
So Leclerc is the one who will be out on his outlap. We have Cam Ratcliffe, PW Jones, D Summers also on an outlap. I'm just wondering if somebody else is in front of these. I think Sam is going to the pits. So it would be Cam, maybe? It certainly is. Crosses the line and opens that wing. Slams on the brakes there into turn 1 and fires it round to the right-hander, swinging over to the left. A treacherous corner. If you put too much power down, you can light up those rear tyres and lose control. When it's the angle of the corner is just ever so harsh. You must control your throttle very effectively and efficiently, but also while trying to push at full throttle. He's finishing his almighty S section of Bahrain. It's cost a lot of drivers their races if you can't get it right. Comes around turn 8, the hairpin will sends you up the hill and then back down it through turn 9, and then slamming on those brakes once again and flicking it around the left-hander at turn 10. Another corner that's very easy to run wide. Can get a bit technical here in the second sector, especially in the environment that's been given. It's also a very dusty track, so if there is the potential for worsening track conditions, it's one of those where the drivers must focus ever more. He's looking mighty fine as he finishes second sector. He's only up by around half a tenth, just under half a tenth. I don't know if the improvement's going to do much in terms of his position. But I wonder if he'll be setting 2 laps here. The flashing light is on.
Yeah, maybe.
He was up in his time, potentially just drain the battery a bit too quickly as he flicks it over and he's down on his time. But the rear wing's not open, so
Leclerc's improving in that second sector by 55 milliseconds. So it might. I don't think it'll be enough to grab pole, but let's see what you can do in the final corner now. Gets the power down, burns the ARS, opens the DRS up now. What can he do? Moves up to second. It's not enough to grab pole from Josh.
So
I think Nick got a toe. I think Nick got a toe from Leclerc.
I think he might have got a sneaky toto though, but he is ghosted. Maybe the game detected he was going to have an issue and give him a ghost, but He's not ghosted anymore as that rear wing is open and he slams it round into turn 4. It's one of those technical corners as you get into the sector 2. So he's down on his time. So the tour, if he did get one, did not work in his advantage. Maybe that ghosting moment, as we saw, would have been an issue that's cost him that time.
Definitely, but there could always be some room to improve. You never know if drivers would mess up around these few corners. It all depends on one corner. How much time can you gain or lose?
Grelison's starting a lap. I think Tom H is about to cross the line to start his as he does, and Sam crosses to start his. But we're currently on board, as we say, with Nick as he's coming round turn 12 and 13. It's a purple sector 2, so he's improved in a way, but he's down on his time. So
Yeah, I don't think it's enough.
It's not enough. He's still a 10th down.
Yeah. The first and second corner wasn't it for him at all.
He's going to cross the line now. And did he improve any? He did not. And he will take the checkered flag. Andres coming across the line. Goes to the pits, actually. Oster. Oh, jumps up into P2. Who was that across the line? Sid is P9.
You know who else is improving? Josh. He might extend his pole lead, but I don't know why he would. But he might go into the 126. What can he do now?
Leclerc finishes P3, still ahead of Nick. Ooh, he's just down.
I'm by a tiny bit.
Oh, PW Jones, P15. I'm on board with Tom H. Does he improve any?
To a final corner. It's a nice and calm he does for that corner. And Neighbours with DRS now.
Oh, it's a 27.8.
Up to P7 now.
P7. So that is a mighty fine qualifying for Tom H. He's in the 27s and potentially puts himself into that race battle with the 27 runners. Glitch Hen being the one who didn't quite make it, followed by OTLR Luke. Again, just a 10th away from a 27, but he would have had to improve by a lot more than that to get closer to Tom H. Sid in P10, Grelis in P11, Sam in P12, Lanky, well, Andres, sorry, even though he was DNF. We'll get back to that when we see the graphic, but so far, it's looking close.
It really is.
It's the fine margins. Josh, once again, taking another pole.
That top 4 is within the 10th of a time.
Absolutely so, beautiful.
It's really close.
Absolutely.
To that top 4.
Within a 10th. It's Josh P1, Oster P2, Leclerc P3, Nick P4, Lugie P5, AMS P6, Tom H P7, Glitch P8, Luke in P9, Sid 10th, Ellis 11th, Sam 12th, Andres 13th, Lanky 14th, PW Jones 15th. Who else? Oh, I missed it. I was trying to watch it back on the stream replay, but just missed it. That was a very interesting qualifier. If I say so myself, I'll bring us back to the camera screen because, as we know, we have the lobby restart to reduce that risk of potential bugs within the game that could happen to us. We know the game has its fair share of issues, but we don't want to take any chances. So as all the drivers jump into the lobby, they will retire. We will go back to the race restart. But Rob, let's have your take on that, mate. How do you feel about that quality? That was mighty fine indeed.
That quality was really interesting, you know, super close between those top 4 drivers. Definitely going to be very interesting in the race. With Leclerc now racing, well, he did miss last week, so we could see what he can do this race.
Absolutely correct. I agree with that. We can see what happens and what they can do. But Josh taking another maiden pole position. Oh my. Everybody's crashing out everywhere. Josh taking another maiden pole position and Oster lurking behind him in P2. That was a mighty fine qualifying for him. So I want to see were those just subpar 27 drivers could potentially put themselves in the race. Anything can happen with these front 4. These front 4 being that close together would probably get into some sort of rough and tuffle, maybe a little bit of wheel banging. But we can only hope to wait and find out about what is to happen and what is to come in the race. I'm quite excited.
Definitely.
Quite excited to see Josh back up there. Oh no. Bear with me 1 second. I forgot my wheel is plugged in. It makes some very strange noises. The wheel is disconnected. Apologies for that, but we shall no longer have some strange noises if anybody heard that. But no.
Well, did see last week some drivers did have an unlucky race. Pretty sure it was Nick who bent it into the wall in Monza.
Too much ERS, says Oster. Saved too much during the lap, so he could. Oster already saying he could have potentially pushed more within his lap. Do you think Paul would have been on there? Nick lost 3/10 in the first sector. We saw that. We was on board with you, my friend. That was very unfortunate. You were first across the line and take that checkered flag. But bit of a rough qualifying for some people, but for the front runners, it was absolutely fantastic.
Now going to the race strategy, what do you think the race strategy will be around here?
I think, seeing there's a softer on the table, if there is a potential for a safety car, then they will come late. So medium hard or hard medium's probably the way to go here. You want to try and make those tyres last as long as possible. Again, the track is very hot. It burns away those tyres, a lot of temperature. And if you have a moment or you lock up those tyres with recent handling, it burns away the tread like no tomorrow. You lose that tyre life dramatically. With every lock up, every slide, every bit of oversteer, every snap that you have, you're just burning that potential life you'll need more and more.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a close one between these drivers. You know, how can they handle the tyres, or how can they perform on the track? Really depends how hard you push a car, should I say,
I think
around this track.
somebody may have disconnected. We only have 18. I'm pretty sure we had 19 in that.
No, I'm pretty sure we had 18.
Was it only 18? No, never mind.
Yeah, 18.
The grid will now be reset to qualifying settings, and the beautiful thing about this little lobby restart is the drivers also get all fresh tyres. So if they do want to choose those soft tyres, might be a bit treacherous around here, especially with these 15 turns. You're slamming on and off the brakes, you're sending it 72% of the lap, you will be flat to the floor. That's the statistics that we have. Especially those faster drivers, they are completely at full throttle, all within just a tenth of each other. The qualifying is looking mighty fine.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. But, you know, we cannot wait until these drivers can show us what they've got around this track. Turn one's going to be a bit crazy, but let's see how clean these drivers can be into the first lap, turn one.
Absolutely, mate, I agree. I'm just doing a little bit of a thing because I realised what was wrong earlier. So while you were just talking, I was just going over some because I'm going to pull up the drivers' standings for all to see. So let me get out of this, and as we go to the drivers' standings, we can now see the points because I realised what the mistake was that I made. Oster, AMS Knight and PW Jones were the podium sitters of the last race, which was mighty fine battling from Oster, and PW Jones getting himself up there on that surprise podium. Nice to see AMS Knight rocking the Mercedes. Again, it's a good finish, which will certainly put them in there with the constructors. Josh B takes another pole here, but had a bit of a rough and tough in Monza and couldn't quite take a race victory, but it was still a good points finish for him. So if victory is on for Josh B13, it's potentially putting him up there with Oster, but Oster again has already got that one race win ahead. If he gets P2, he should still maintain the lead on points. What do you think from last week? Do you think you could see anybody potentially jumping into that mix?
Well, like we did say, I did say, Nick could jump into the mix, you know, after what he done, you know, bend it, the tyres were dead on the left-hand side, got no grip. But some drivers definitely have a chance. We've got more drivers now coming in, you know, new drivers. We get to see what they can do on the track. But it's going to be quite interesting.
Very much indeed. Well, McLaren with 34 points in the constructors' standings because they had a double point finish in the last race, getting them some nice points away. Monza, Mercedes only 18 points, 16 point gap there, but the kick Saubers again with the points finished. Bit of a double points finish though. We're only at 1 point lurking behind the Mercedes. Alpine also only 1 point lurking behind their kick Sauber, with the RBs only getting 10 points. There's a 6 point gap, but it is only from race 1. But what we do know is it's going to be another points finish for potential McLaren if he can just stay on that ball and stay with the RB of Josh, that he's coming fairly quickly as he took that pole position.
Yeah, let's see how quick it can be off the start.
We are almost set and ready to go. So, before I take us back to the game screen, just a quick little word about, let's get some. I think it's going to be amazing, to be fair. What do you think?
It really is, yeah. I think the first lap's definitely going to be the most interesting, you know.
What do you think's going to happen with that one? Anything spicy? Anything interesting?
I think a bit of a contact into turn 1, you know. Turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3. Maybe for the ascension as well. 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Most of these corners are quite dangerous to make a move down. The hairpin, the tight left-hander, which I believe is turn 10.
Yes, yes, yes. Of course.
The first
Come out of the
sector 1 and 2.
Yep, coming out of sector 2 into that hairpin, and then you've got the horrible little down incline of 9 and 10, which can catch a lot of drivers out. But we are finally getting ourselves up and onto the grid for what could be a very interesting race. I hope everybody's here and ready to see it, because I certainly am. I think Oster could potentially be on for another victory, but Josh is there, right there in front of him, potentially stopping what could be a double race victory for Oster here in OTLR. Certainly setting the standards high. The McLaren on a charge.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, you know, but it's hard to recognise each other because you got to remember the name, not the car, because it's F1 World Cars.
Oh yes, but qualifying makes it a little bit difficult because you don't know what's what. But when people are in order, you can I sort of settle with that. But we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. The lights out and away we go. It looks like it's a good getaway from Josh, but Josh is still potentially under attack. It's Leclerc who gets a jump on Oster there before we even get into turn 1 as everybody slams onto the brakes, keeping it as we got 3 wide there from Tom H. Tom H really trying to push the boundaries and get into the mix. He was stuck in the middle of that pack, but he's in P6 still. Nick looking to get past Oster now. Oster's not having a good start, but Josh is almost a second clear. He's almost bridged that DRS, almost broke it away. He has broke it away. By first sector, Josh is almost a second clear. He's over a second clear. It's 1.5 now. Josh is absolutely sending it here, but it's the back of the field now, as we can see AMS Knight looking to potentially get a position away from Glitch 10. Glitch 10 side by side, keeping to the inside line as we get through 9. Onto the brake, still side by side into turn 10, but gets the optimal line. It's AMS Knight who's forced to drop back ever so slightly, but he's still close enough to push for an attack.
Yeah, look at Josh pulling away very, very slowly. It's like Max Verstappen at the start, pulling away, pull away from the drivers behind. Massive gap. So it looks like now it's a battle for P2. Everybody's got DRS down to 14. It's going to be a close one between these drivers, you know. They really need to work together if you want to catch up to Josh.
Oh, Lugie there looking to get a move done on Oster. He's side by side coming through the final corners. 14 and 15 does get their move done. This potentially opens the door for Tom to get himself into the mix. Is he making it side by side with Oster? He's not, but we see Leclerc into the pits and retire.
Retiring already? I'm not sure what happened, but Lanky one just had a 3-second time penalty as well.
Oh.
The track limits already. Going a bit tight there into the first corner. Round turn 2 now. Who's going to come out on top? Right now, Glitch and Tom are currently fighting, which I'm pretty sure they are teammates as well.
We're just seeing that there. I think AMS Knight's trying to look to get inside, but he couldn't as he's lost the position to Tom H. Glitched is ahead of Tom H. AMS Knight staying ever closer, looking to potentially get into that mix. We saw Leclerc. I wonder if there was a lap 1 collision there. Something that just happened. He's broke his wing, and that's why the front has just ran away, and he's just held the pack back by 3 seconds. Maybe that's something that's happened there. as now everybody's
Ooh.
bunching up ever closer. Everybody's getting mighty close indeed. But AMS, though, looking to get a move done on Tom H. The side-by-side, but Tom does have the DRS. He can use it in defence. But will he use it in defence as he backs out of it as we get into turn 11? He's not conceding so much, though. He just knows when and where to do it. Doesn't want to risk a collision. It's only lap 2. A bit of smart racecraft from the McLaren, though. I think he's
really
McLaren.
is. But if you look at the tyre data, we can see some people come for the softs. Most of the people, really, should I say, gone for the softs. So it looks like they're trying to stay out a bit longer and then go on to the hards towards the end.
Well, we see now Oster looking to go on a move. Oh no, it's Nick looking to potentially get into the move. Oster's under attack.
There.
No, he keeps it fairly nicely. Glitch 10 was looking to put the pressure on.
Yeah, we saw it in the background. There's AMZ Knight staying behind
No,
the
Nick
drivers.
putting pressure on, but he's almost side by side there with Oster. Oster, a bit of contact, almost pushed him off, but keeps the position on. He's still side by side. He doesn't. He backs out of it. Oster and Nick are having a bit of a hard joust here. Both hard runners are starting to get those tyres working strong. Oh no, Oster's ran it deep and has opened the door for Glitch 10. It was beautiful positioning from Glitched as he moves up and takes the place away. Says thank you very much. But now Oster's trying to push him onto the outside line, trying to make him fight for it. He's really pushing the limits there, trying to get side by side, get his nose back in and potentially take the position back.
I don't think it's enough. Right now, we're still fighting for that P2. At the back there, it's mostly the drivers trying to climb up the grid, trying to go up to that podium position where Nick and Loogie is, with Josh pulling away 5 seconds now. So all this fighting is defo helping him build a massive gap. So the undercut on him wouldn't really work at all. The cars behind wouldn't really gain much time on him.
So we have an absolute fight for P2. This is what it's all about, as Josh has absolutely ran away. He has had the dream lap 1. A bit of a lock up there from Nick. We saw that front right tyre lock and slide. He wasn't rotating. Could potentially be under attack now from Glitch. Glitched on the soft compound tyre. Will get the traction down better than those harder tyres. But can he get the move done as we power on into turn 4? Doesn't back side of it, but the door is open. He gets the traction down to make it side by side. He now has... No, backside of it again, playing it smart, just playing it smart. He doesn't want to put himself in a position that could put him in a bad situation, potentially a bit of wheel banging, sending himself round and into the wall.
Yeah, this fighting with Glitch and Nick is defo helping Loogie as well, pulling away, like what's happened with Josh. But I think we're still back in that DRS though, within Loogie, so maybe we can start working together and catch up to Loogie.
They can only hope to. They need to stop this scrap. It's only lap 4. You still have 25 laps to go. And all this fighting he's doing is giving Josh a guaranteed victory.
It really is. Now it's 6 seconds. 4 laps, and it's 6 seconds gap.
Absolutely. He's flying. He's had the dream start. Nobody there putting the pressure on. He can run his own pace. Josh is away.
But we see Glitch right now going for the move, going down the inside. Got my overspeed on Nick now. Going for that P3, maybe that P2 as well. Going down the inside. Oh. Nick goes round the outside. The Glitch goes over, sends it. Up to turn 2 now. Who's got a better exit? It looks like it's Glitch out of turn 3 now. Glitch will have a better exit, but Nick's still challenging. What can he do? Oh, it looks like
AMS Knight. AMS Knight has come into the fight. Oh, he almost got pushed off. Oh, Nick just barely getting the position, but it's allowed Glitch to be the breathing room. Oh, Nick's had a moment. Nick's sliding all over the place. Huge, huge moment for IRT Nick. That's not good. He's dropped down the positions. Lost that P4. Now sits himself in P6 behind Oster. What a moment there. Just... bit too aggressive on the power through 5, 6 and 7. He's lucky to keep it alive and not drop to the back of the field. It was a nice save.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Ames Knight, you know, touching the rear of Nick there for going for the S section there. But he did catch it very well, but it's dropped down to P6. Looks like he's struggling now on those tyres. after that little nudge. But Glitch is now on the attack. Who's at the back spin? I'm pretty sure that is Camera Cliff around turn 12.
I wonder if Sam's had damage, because what we haven't seen is he's pitted and got himself onto the hard compound tyre. So I wonder now if he's just going to push this now towards the end. Those hard tyres. I mean, it's quite a stint. 23 laps. But we see a change. There's Glitch, sends it big time on Loogie, but Loogie's looking to potentially fire back with a switchback. Can he get the traction down on those hard compound tyres? I don't think he will. Glitch still maintains that P2. Oh, wow, Glitch then is hungry. He's hungry for that podium.
To keep that position. Yeah, he keeps that position as well. Oh, he's at the back of his spun. PW Jones at the back there. Spinning around turn 3.
Oh, one of those technical first and second corners. You put the power down too quickly and you will lose all those positions. You will drop. But Glitch just really put himself into this championship. He's snatching P2 away. The position everybody's fighting for. Those soft compound tyres are working miraculously here on lap 6. Working in his favour. Josh is still 7 seconds ahead. Can Glitch do anything about it? 23 laps remaining.
Yeah, looks like, well, right now, I'll say Us's in the best position because these softs will die any time soon now. Next lap or the next 2 laps, it will depend how these drivers manage it.
Absolutely correct. How can they manage their tyres efficiently? How can they preserve all that precious tyre tread that they need? All the rubber. They need it, every little last scrap of it, to prolong it if it's possible, to maintain the pace. It's one of the most vital, important things. Oh, is that Luke having a look? He does, he makes it side by side. Glitch 10 keeping the P2.
He really is fighting for that P2, but looks like he's got 3 drivers behind him. Luigi might lose a position. Also goes down the inside of turn 4. He's going to turn 5 now. He's going to get ahead. Also still ahead. Up to turn 6. Also goes ahead, but Luigi might lose another position to the driver behind. But he's AMZ Knight going round the outside and gains a position. Also behind there is Nick, who did have a little slide 2 laps ago, pretty sure. Goes round the outside and gets that move done. So Luigi's dropped 3 positions in a matter of 5 corners, I'm pretty sure.
I'll tell you what that is. It's too much heat in the tyres. It's got to be. For that amount of drop, the way the car was sliding left and right, just couldn't keep it stable, couldn't keep it under control. He ran it off wide, and then as he gets himself around the hairpin, he can't get the power back down. He's the back end fishtailing left and right, barely keeping it under control. I think he's just cooked those tyres a little bit too much, and now needs to back off ever so slightly and cool them down.
Maybe it's showing a sign the soft tyres are slowly dying out as the other people be on the hards, like Oyster or AMZ Knight who are on the hards. Or actually, AMZ's not on the mediums. So right now, the mediums would be in the best position right now.
I tell you what's wrong with it. Got too much heat in it. Nah, he's looking good, but AMS Knight though, getting himself up into P4. He's looking for a mighty fight now. Can he get himself up against Glitch 10? Oster is looking like he could potentially pull away as Glitch gets into a bit of a rough and tough, getting into that little bit of a battle there with AMS Knight. AMS Knight takes the podium away. This allows Oster a little bit more breathing room. Can he push on now and break that DRS? Can Glitch respond and take it back from AMS Knight? Nice bit of battling going on as they exit first sector and get into second. This where the move. Oh, Nick though with a bit of a centre and it's side by side with Glitched Hen. Boy, he doesn't get the traction down like Hen does. Hen gets that power down and stays ahead. But Nick is looking to fight back. As I look to the inside there, I'm still here, making himself large in those mirrors.
Yeah, it's turn 12 now. Looks like Glitch is really losing some speed for those high-speed right and left-handers up to turn 13 now.
Oh,
Nick having a little bit of a slide there out of the turn 13. Still got my power down. Didn't really lose much time behind Glitch. Up to turn 14, the last corner. Let's see what these drivers can do on this DRS straight. Will be any moves? As you see Glitch, a bit of a slide out of the exit of turn 14. Going down to turn 1 now. But it's like AMC Knight won't have any DRS. We'll just go down the inside of turn 1. What can he do? Goes down the inside and gets that move done. And
That
makes
is
Nick go
mighty
down the
fine.
inside.
I've pressed the wrong
But
button. But I didn't want to show the telemetry there. I just pressed the wrong button for a second. But that was a mighty fine move for Glitch then. Gets himself back up onto the podium. But Nick is very closer. Ooh, can he fight him? It looks like Nick's trying to send it side by side, but he backs out of it there as we get into 5, 6, and 7.
yeah, maybe it's a sign the softs are really dying out right now because we've lost to Oyster now. This is the leader of the pack and he's really dropping behind. So maybe those soft tyres are in that dead zone and the drivers behind him are trying to get past, trying their best, but Glitch out there defending for that position, for that podium position.
Side by side into turn 11. No, Nicky's backing out of that one. He doesn't want to risk the contact. He's in a good position, but can AMS Knight do anything about it? The medium compound tyre working in his favour. They seem to be, at the minute, the current tyre to be on with the way that AMS Knight is able to push them. But the harder compound tyre will have the extra life. They just don't have the grip like the mediums do. But the softs surely must be dropping off now. 10 laps on those soft tyres as we cross the line to start lap 11. Oh no, lap 10, sorry.
The pits
Right
now.
on lap 10.
The leader has gone to the pits and also takes that lead. Will be leading the rest of the race so far until you pit.
That's interesting. Tom has gone to the pits. I'm not seeing damage, so he's gone onto the softs.
So 2-stop then.
Tom H has definitely opted for the 2-stop strategy. Unless Glitched is feeding him some information in a way that the softs are still decent. Glitched is still doing fairly well on those soft compound tyres. Looking at a podium finish. But Nick almost 2 seconds behind Oster. The car he was battling with ever so strongly. We need to get rid of you.
Looks like Glitch is still the leader of, well, not leader of a pack. We're catching up to Nick now, very, very slowly. But I don't think it will be enough. He might be losing too much time for the slow and high-speed corners, as those tyres would have no grip in them. Think about it right now, the soft tyres won't be alive if we see out of turn 13. Glitch losing a bit of a car there. Burning some ERS, trying to catch up now.
We're
Back
now
up
at
to
the
Nick.
point where things are going to slow down as the tyres burn.
Definitely. Definitely going to affect the softs a lot, but the hard runners, it's their chance to start moving, I would say.
Absolutely. But Nick is dropping time to Oster. Oster is looking to be on a good push at this current stage in the race.
Yeah.
You can see the gap difference though.
It's around the outside of Glitch down to turn 4. Bit of a contact there, I think. Brings Luigi is big back into the battles as well. He's going to come out on top. It looks like Games Night will with a better tyre grip. Or actually, not sure of it. Glitch having a bit of a slide there.
Are those soft tyres starting to burn? I don't think he may have the tyre life he would expect to have or want or even need at this stage. But Nick, I'm pretty sure those hard tyres are now going to start to fire up dramatically. If he can just push a little bit harder. For Oster, they're working beautifully. Oster's really starting to pull away here, really starting to get the power down. 3 seconds clear. Josh, however, 6 seconds behind Luger. 6.8, sorry, behind Luger. So he's already boxed, and he's only 6 seconds behind already as we get on to lap 12 of the race now. We saw Lugie's diving into the pit, swapping those soft tyres. Glitched, maybe undercut here.
Josh sets the fastest lap now.
Yeah, see, I had a feeling he was going to come with that. Josh is really starting to catch up to the back of that field. He just doesn't have the DRS, so he's losing on the straight ever so slightly. but gaining massively through the corners. He has the traction, he has the fresher tyres.
Alright, now it's quite close, you know. It might be overcut might wide. I think Josh has pit a bit too early, maybe.
Tell you something though, with Tom H boxing, so got Piney Pen with him with DRS though. But I think he may have passed him already. Oh, he's just dropped it. He's out of DRS. He's just dropped the 1 second. We have a bit of a train here now from P3 down. From P2 down, sorry, to P4. Just this little train going and going and going until somebody's going to dive into the pits. And then somebody else will.
Glitch will be next into the pits because he's on those soft runners.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that that's something that would happen. We're going to see Glitch potentially dive into the box anytime now. He's got to, in essence, but...
No!
AMS Knight! Oh, that's not the one I was expecting.
On the meads as well. He's on those medium tyres, so those medium tyres will be coming off. So we see Josh now in the background of those drivers. You can see him catching up now.
Yeah, dramatically catching up. He's going to be over 20 seconds clear at this point when these two eventually box. But what tyre did he go on? He went on to the mediums. He may have to box again. So,
then maybe for a soft or another mead set.
So the two-stop strategy certainly is working in his favour. He could potentially get the time to box again, but he needs to gain it now.
Actually, let's see what these drivers will do. I think...
Oh, Glitch is no longer within DRS. Yeah, Glitch is out of DRS. Doesn't have it.
Yeah, we needed AMC Knight there as well, because AMC Knight was between those two drivers, giving each other DRS, giving Glitch DRS, whilst he had DRS on Nick. But now since he's pitted, it really broke DRS between those two drivers.
I think we could potentially see a fight here between Luigi and AMS Knight. Two drivers currently in the fight at the front of the pack, getting himself certainly into the mix for potential podium. Josh, I think, may just have ran an alternate strategy that he's going to totally work in his favour with the pace that he's been able to produce.
Glitch finally goes into the pits now.
I suspect medium tyre for Glitch. If he can do 14 laps on those softs. Oh, that's a moment from Nick. Ooh. Does keep it going well. There it is. There it is. There's the fight we've been waiting for. Lugi and AMS Knight battling away. As they know that they're fighting each other for position. They were fighting each other earlier for a podium finish, and they are still continuing to fight each other. With Tom H ahead on the two-stop strategy. Well, he's got to be, because he's on the soft compound tyre. He's been on the softer compound tyre now for a couple of laps.
It looks like these drivers have done the undercut on Glitch as well. So he's pulled 2 seconds away from Glitch.
Oh, Sam's retired in the pits.
No, it's nothing too bad.
I was a bit eager though on the excitement. I was expecting, when I saw Sam, I was like, he's dropped it. He's dropped it. He's
saved car. But Josh is really catching up to Nick. But Nick really needs to pit to his oyster. Because Josh is now close up to the drivers in front, I would say.
Yeah, he has. He has. He's completely caught up by now at this point. He's almost within DRS and Nick. But when Nick boxes, which he eventually will do, about 20 to 23 seconds, we're in that area for the pit stop. That's how far ahead he's going to be in Nick and Oster. And then the closest person to him after that will be Tom H. So it's looking like this two-stop strategy has worked for Nick. I don't know if it's going to work for Tom. He can only hope to get some good points, but as in terms of an actual strategy, Oster hasn't pitted.
Same as Nick, I'm pretty sure. Looks like they're both going for the one stop here. So it looks like the one stop could really work, I would say. If you see, Josh now got that DRS on Nick. Waiting behind, not overtaking Nick yet. Up to turn 12 now. Turn through 11 now up to 12.
No, he might be expecting Nick to box at the end of this lap. If he's etching close though, very, very, very close. He's really pushing very hard. So maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe he dives
If
into
he
the
wants that
box
DRS.
now.
Would be enough of a means to last.
Well, there goes
Yeah.
it. Yep, see? Oh, I knew it. Oh no, he faked it. Crossing the white line.
That might be.
He was trying to get a tow. I think he was just trying to get that tow and gain that extra speed.
Wants to maximize that speed on that straight to catch up to Oyster.
Lugia and AMS Knight still battling away. These two are really going at it.
So yeah, right now we're currently fighting for net P3, should I say?
They are battling for net P3 as we expect to see Tom H in the pits once again.
Same as Oyster.
Oyster is yet to box.
So they will be boxing soon. Might be this lap or next lap. Those hards
With
must have been
the current gap, I think it's decent.
Who do you think's gonna win with this gap? Oh, you see, Lugi's big loser of a car at a turn 10.
Yeah, I just saw that. Had a bit of a big moment there. With Josh's 4 seconds, Oyster pits now for a one stop. Josh potentially pits again for the softs. It's depending on the pace from here on out will really set that final result for Josh.
I think Josh will try to go for the meat towards the end because it looks like he didn't do very well on the soft since. It didn't really last very well. He had strong pace, pulled away, but he didn't last long at all.
No, he did not, but AMS Knight looking now to use that DRS and get ever closer to Lugi. We saw this battle going on for a couple of laps now. These two just potentially could be fighting for that podium. As we see there, AMS Knight sends it to the inside and gets it done nicely. But Nick and Glitch 10 are etching ever closer to those two. Glitch 10, somebody else who was also in the fight for potential podium victory. Potential podium, but not in the best position. He's got Nick in front of him and two other faster drivers in front of him. But the more they battle, the closer Nick and Glitch 10 get.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. Right now, it's a 4-way battle for net P2, I would say.
They are now within DRS. They are now back into that DRS trend. I'm not sure about P2. I think Oyster might potentially have a good one stop here with Josh.
How far will Oyster go back though?
They're about 22 seconds ahead of that DRS train. Oh, Lugi's dropping positions. He's had a moment, I believe.
As Oyster goes in, so let's see if this DRS train overtakes Oyster. Looks like we really need to push now for this final few straights onto the final corner now. As Oyster's completed his stop, I'm pretty sure. Coming out of the pits now.
It's going to be close. He's going to be in that fight. He's going to be in that fight, but Tom will jump ahead, but he still needs to pit. He's on those soft tyres. I don't know if they will work, but he gets the power down and get it flat. Get it going, get it going, get it going. He does get ahead. That is a beautiful pit stop. He is ahead, but he has conceded the DRS to Nick behind.
But he does have a better advantage as well. On the fresher side, you just need to warm up those tyres.
Nick's under attack from AMS Knight. There's a bit of contact there. Nick's had to back out of it, but he could potentially open it up for Lugi. Lugi doesn't get in there, but there is a bit of a contact there. Some hard elbows out as AMS Knight gets ahead of Nick. Oyster breaks that DRS.
Ready. Now's on the attack on Tom. So let's see what you can do. Will he catch up? Would it be enough?
Well, Tom still needs to box. Those soft tyres cannot finish. I don't believe they could finish. So, Tom needing to pit again. 17-second gap. He'll drop down to like P7. Maybe glitched his area. It's going to be... Oof. But we know that that little DRS train is battling mighty hard.
It really is. It's just, you've got to be patient now, you know. Wait towards the last few laps and then push the car, whatever's left in those tyres and that
Oster's in
ERS.
DRS. Oster is within DRS of Tom H. MS9. Oh, he's ghosted. Bit of a contact there. He was sideways at one point, but Nick is ahead as he exit turn 3. Nick gets that wing wide open. Amos Knight losing out to the DRS. Does it make him vulnerable? It doesn't. He stays where he is. Oster ahead of Tom H. So this is where things get interesting. This is where things get spicy now. The final stint of the race. They've all completed the pit stop strategies except for one more driver. That man in P1. He must be swapping to the soft tyres later on in a couple of laps' time. I don't know if those mediums would work ever so slightly because Oster now is gaining like a missile. It was really 17, it's now 15.6 seconds and dropping rapidly to Josh B13. Oster could be on the better strategy here.
Maybe, but also, I think Tom might be slow enough. I think Tom's tyres are definitely out of line.
There he goes. Dying into the pits. This is Tom H's two-stop strategy unfolding now as he's going to swap those soft compound tyres. So, IRC Nick inherits that P3 as he's fighting away with AMS Knight. Oof. P2 for AMS Knight. Where's Josh? Josh is into the pits also. Josh has pitted. Softer tyres are on. So this is it. This is where it's all systems blaze now for Josh. He comes out in P6 and he must fight that field in front of him.
What you can do. Can he get past? Problem is, it's a four-way battle right now. So how is he going to get past the drivers in front? How would you take this on if there was 4 drivers in front of you, blocking you from a win in Bahrain?
Well, this is where patience is a factor. This is where you just got to let them fight, as they say, and capitalise on their battle. Look for the door that gets left open as they try and push each other wide. Get yourself the optimum line. Potential look for a switchback or a dose of double DRS and overspeed while they're fighting away. This is where patience is a virtue.
If the wait's too long, maybe Oyster just might pull away. You never know. There's different ways to win this.
Well, he has
Be
dropped
patient.
all that time and he's back in DRS. Josh is looking to potentially attack now.
Let's see what kind of exit Josh will get out of his turn 14. Look at that power. Straight down, almost overtaking Luigi is big. Onto the straight now. Onto the right hand side, going down the inside. Maybe he can overtake 2. Can he overtake?
He's not going to try it, but Luigi backed out of it early, possibly trying to look for that switchback line as we see glitched head sliding there, losing the position. Josh is up into P4. He drops 2 positions. He's not back behind Luigi. But Josh now needs to push that little bit more to regain that DRS once again to the cars in front, as he does as he exits turn 4, gets into 5, around 6, the little S section of Bahrain.
Not 7.
Finishes 7. Round 8 we go.
Yeah, it looks like that DRS already, but we've got a 4-second gap to Oyster as well. So let's see what he can do against these 2 drivers. Got past 2 drivers already. Easily done within 3 turns. What can he do right now? Round the outside. Nope, he backs out. So maybe he's waiting for another DRS straight. Ooh. Or another corner goes. Actually, he might have a grip. Down turn 12, down to turn 13 now.
Bit of a lock up there.
Power down. gets the power down. Look at that grip compared to the hard tyres.
Does have the added grip. We see AMS Knight burning the battery a little bit there just to stay ahead. But no, Josh will get the traction down better. He is very close to the rear of AMS Knight looking for that podium finish. But as all this fighting goes on, the longer Josh stays behind. Is he going to get a double? Is it a double? I think he will be. He does get the double overtake. He sends it side by side into turn one as he gets the power down. It's AMS Knight who's forced to run wide and avoid action. He may have locked it up though, but he has gone off the track and picked up a 3-second warning. It is Josh B13 now up into P2. This is looking mighty fine indeed.
That's down to Josh and Oyster. Who's got the fastest pace now? Who's got the better tyres? Who's got the better setup? All down between these two drivers. Who's got the pace around here? Who's going to win it on track? Fair and square. Let's see what we can do for the past few laps.
Absolutely indeed. Josh is really getting that power down, really getting the traction down. He's dropped a second almost to Oster in front. It's soft versus medium tyre. The softer tyres being slightly fresher than Oster's. But with only 7 laps remaining, we can only hope for Josh's race victory. He got pole position. Will it be a Grand Slam? He went for the 2-stop strategy and it's playing out in his hands as he's taking another 5 tenths out of Oster's time as he gets into the third sector. Looking very, very strong. The soft tyres completely working in his favour.
He is. But also, to complete a Grand Slam, I'm pretty sure he needs to grab the fastest lap as well. So actually, he's got that.
Yeah, he already does.
As soon as we talk about the Grand Slam, all he needs is just a win.
That's what I'm saying. He's going for it. It is a total Grand Slam from Josh B13. He's took out another half second to Oster with 6 laps remaining. And he's only just finished the first sector of this lap. He's dropped. Oh no, it was AMS Knight. He's dropping like a sieve. All the time that Josh is gaming, AMS Knight is losing.
Yeah, Josh, the pole sitter, the fastest up right now. Fresher tyres, better grip. What can he do? What can he do against Oyster on those mediums, I believe so, or the hards? He's on the mediums, those old mediums, with, what, 6 laps to go now? 6 or 7. What can we do? 2 seconds gap now. Closer and closer. Looks like he's gaining a second each lap. So it looks like he's really pushing the car around his track. Losing the cars behind now. 1.9, 1.8 on that straight. Shows how much grip he has on the exit.
Absolutely correct. He's really seething with grip there, Josh, as he's dropping that time ever more. Another lap down, another second down. As we see, a potential change for the last podium position as Nick now sending it to the inside. Gets it, Belugi sneaking in as well, dropping AMS Knight down into 5th position. AMS Knight has that 3-second penalty, don't forget. So it could potentially put him in an uncomfortable situation as AMS Knight gets a move done on Lugi and retakes 4th position.
Let's go back on board on Josh. Look at Josh now. 1.3. He might be in that DRS zone. Going to turn 8 now. Randy hairpin. Can he get the exit? He puts the power down and that ERS down. 1.1 second. And I don't think it's enough to get that DRS.
Glitch down, picks up 3 seconds. It's going to affect his race in a way, but he is 3 seconds behind the ones in front, so he potentially won't inherit a position from AMS Knight anymore. He will not exactly lose a position. He's 14 seconds ahead of Tom, but we can only hope that nothing more comes of that.
Yeah, well, now it's a fight for P1. Oyster versus Josh. And Bahrain.
He's in that DRS. What he's been fighting for ever so cleanly, ever so, like really pushing his car to the limit of his abilities. He's now getting that rear flap open and chasing him down the pit straight. 4 laps remaining. And he has gained like a bat out of hell. The 2-stop strategy certainly being the one to race on, but As he's been pushing lap after lap, he's been burning away that vital tyre life that he may need in these closing laps. I think he has the tyre life to make it and to keep the pressure on Oster, as he now sends it down into the inside line as we get into turn 4. Oh, he's looking for a switchback. Is Oster really trying to get to that inside line once again as he does? Is it a switchback? It is! He switches it back as he gets to the inside of turn 5, 6 and exit 7. He's still ahead. Oster maintaining that P1 position. That was a mighty fine move from the McLaren driver. He won in Monza last week. Can he win again here in Bahrain? Can he defend Josh and keep him behind?
Maybe, but let's see what we can do for this past final laps. He's going to get the better tyre life. We did see Josh on that first stint, if you remember. Had a terrible first stint on those softs. Pitted. I think it was like lap 8. So let's see what you can do with those softs now.
Really pushing him to the
tight.
limit. He goes out of that hot air, really getting that clean air. He's moved out of that horrible dirty air behind. He's getting the heat from the driver's car in front of him. Again, if you heat your engine, it does affect your performance. It is a mechanic in the game, so you want to keep your engine as cool as possible. You'll lose some straight line speed. But Josh now looking to get the move done on the outside line of turn 1, as he does get ever so slightly ahead, but it is once again a great defence from Oster. Oster's not giving it up easy. He's still trying to make it side by side. There's contact there as he pushed off the track, as he rejoins and gets himself back into the race. Stays behind and doesn't lose the DRS. He gives the position back, does Josh, and potentially, oh no, was it an attack? I don't think he would. Just gave the position back. A bit of a controversial moment there, a bit of contact, pushing him wide, and as he was right next to him coming out of turn 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure right now. I'm seeing some problems from Josh.
Is that Sid
I'm not sure if
battling
you've
with
seen
PW
it.
Jones? It is. Sid gets ahead of PW Jones just outside of the points in P11 as he tries to put the push on in the closing laps to get to Andres, who will jump back on board with the front runners. It's looking like it's a mighty fine race for these two. Every lap that Oster is able to defend, he makes it ever so much easier as Josh's tyres burn away, and all that advantage he would have had on the softer compound tyre disappears from him. But Oster doing a very, very good job defending in his McLaren, defending hard. He doesn't want to give up that position. He wants to keep it.
Seems like he really does. But it depends. He's got more power down the straight. He's got more ERS. This new ERS mode strategy as well. You can switch it to none, medium, and I'm pretty sure it's one shot to get that battery back if you want to put it to none. So we see Josh overtaking Oyster for that P1, but Oyster just have that DRS block open.
Trying to fight it back. I don't believe it. Oyster defending like a lion. He wants to keep his P1. He wants to get 2 victories in a row. He wants to send this McLaren to the top. This is fantastic defence from the McLaren driver, trying to defend the pole sitter of Josh. Oh, this is incredible to see. These front two really going for it. AMS Knight was ever so close. So we're Nick there. There's still a battle here for a potential podium between these two. Is Nick now sending it into turn 8, going side by side, getting that inside line, which will switch to that outside line as they get down into turn 9 and 10. He locks the wheels now as he's hitting the brakes. It's such a treacherous corner with such little grip, but has lost out on the podium position as well. If his penalty is to be removed, he needs to, if he does any form of report. But that back end squirreling ever so slightly. The front still battling away. Oster is defending like a lion. This is fantastic. Brilliant racecraft, brilliant strategy from both drivers. Does Oster have what it takes to put those soft tyres in a very uncomfortable position for Josh as he goes defensive once again? He moves out of the line. He could potentially lose the position here as he does before we get to turn 1. Josh using the DRS and the battery to benefit that those offensive tools, the tools he can use to put the pressure on. But Oster now is half a second behind. He's dropping and dropping, but he had the DRS there. He just needs to make sure he can stay within that DRS. Luigi is big, looking to potentially get into the mix to snatch that last podium position. Can he get close enough?
Right now, the top two is looking a bit close here. Another back for the last podiums between Nick and Louis since AMC night. Just have a 3-second time penalty. But Oyster goes down the inside of turn 11. Will he send it? No, he don't. He backs out.
There's a time and a place, and that wasn't the place. He's playing it safe. He has a victory to look forward to. If he can just maintain it, but Josh looking to take that Grand Slam. Oyster is still very, very close. Those tyres now could potentially be at the point where they're no longer going to give him such an advantage. Josh is under pressure, under attack from the McLaren driver.
One more lap left. Who's going to come on top? It's between Josh and Oyster. Can Josh get the Grand Slam, or will Oyster get his second win?
We start the final lap of the race, and it is all go, 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 go for Oyster. And Josh, as Oyster moves to the outside line, he's looking to try and take it here. Can he get it? He can't. He had to... Didn't get the traction down, maybe. I'll just have to back out of ever so slightly, play it safe and keep the DRS. Can he get close enough? He didn't. He lost the DRS. Josh got the DRS and can use it to defend as we get on to finishing the first sector. Round turn 4 we go, sending it into the slight S section, 5, 6 and 7. Josh still trying to push on for his first race victory of the season, but Oyster looking to take his second race victory of the season. 1 stop versus 2 stop. Josh looked mighty fine on the 2 stop, but Oyster has played this 1 stop to perfection.
He really has. He's holding up those tyres super well against Josh. Will Josh make it towards the end? Oyster does have that DRS up to turn 11. He's got to get more grip. Up to 10. Oh, bit of a side there from Josh. Oyster's right behind. Going up towards turn 13. 1 more big straight. Who's got more ERS? Oyster does have the advantage.
Can he get it? He's going to slipstream it. He's burning the battery, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. He's edging ever closer, edging ever closer, edging ever closer. I don't think he's close enough. I think it'll be Josh who will take victory. It will be. He's still 2 straights ahead. Will it go all the way to the line? He starts to weave a little bit early.
Wins.
Josh takes victory here in Sakir in Bahrain. With Oyster coming in P2. We have a lapped car. I think Grelis is... the lap car and DNFing, but Lugi takes P3, AMS Knight taking the P4 position. What a finish. Lugi managing to snatch that podium position away once again, as we see Nick glitched and Tom H inheriting the position away from glitched 10. P6, P7 for those two. OTLR Luke, where will Luke finish? He comes across the line in P8. He does have a couple of penalties, but doesn't affect his race too dramatically. Sid to finally getting those points position. He was P11 last. We had a little look at him. He does get the points as Lanky taking the final point position. PW Jones with a surprise podium coming home in 12th. Andres just outside the points once again in P12. Piney Penguin does have a penalty, but will it put him out of his position? I don't think he will. He finishes P13. D Summers next across the line in P14. Cam Ratcliffe coming along slowly with a little bit of a weave there. Finishes 15th, and 3 DNFs from the bottom of the field. Grelis, one of them. We saw Leclerc, somebody who was very good but retired very early, which is disappointing to see. And Sam being the final of the DNF finishers. But what a race. Oyster really certainly getting himself into championship positions, as we see Josh, the pole sitter from Monza, getting pole position here and taking victory. So he got the Grand Slam. Lovely to see. Oyster P2, Lugi in P3, getting a podium position.
What a race between those drivers towards the end. Getting close and close. Battling hard for that P1 position. And it looks like Josh came on top there. That 2-stop strategy.
Absolutely. Completely working in his favour. Tom getting some nice points. Glitch 10 also in the points on the returning races. OTLR Luke, Sid and Lanky in P10. And then down the order. PW Jones outside the points. He had a podium last race but couldn't get one this race. Andres in P12, Pioneer Penguin P13, D Summers P14, Cam Ratcliffe P15, then onto the DNFs of Grealish, Sam and Leclerc. It's disappointing to see from Leclerc. I reckon he could have done some nice racing here, potentially got himself into a podium finish, but well, it happens. But now we shall get ourselves moved on to the interviews.
Yes, we hope so. We can get these drivers in. It was very interesting race.
If the drivers would like to be interviewed, get yourselves into the waiting room. We have an interview waiting room. The sooner you're in there, the sooner I can drag you in and we can get talking, my friend, and see how your take on the race went. But we shall give you a little ping.
Josh. Oyster. Who was in P3? Was it Nick?
Luge was P3, managing to snatch that final podium position away. He was qualifying P2 in Monza. I can't remember where he qualified in this race, but he did get himself into a decent position to snatch that podium away. So it's good points for him. We can hope to see more of him in the race.
Very close race towards the end. It was very nice seeing the drivers, sort out different strategies around the racetrack, playing different ideas. Some worked out, some didn't, but both of the strategies worked well for the drivers in front. Close battle, but one of them had to win on top, and it was Josh.
Absolutely correct. So Josh, again, getting that Grand Slam, like you say, beautiful drive. He had it from the start. He was setting consistent pole position times in the earlier stages of qualifying, then snatched that pole position away on his final run. It was beautiful to see, and we love to see fast drivers like that doing these things. He's took a Grand Slam. You can't ask for a better race victory, in all honesty. The fastest lap, those two-stop strategy, what a strategy it was, working in his favour. I was a bit concerned he may have lost a bit too much time. He may have fell down the order in a bit of a way that could have potentially ruined his race. As he came out in P6, he had that train in front of him. That train could have held him back by quite a lot, but he managed to dispatch of them very easily as he got through the fight and got through the field as well. We do have one driver so far who's coming in. It's our P3 sitter of Luge. We have nobody else joining in the waiting room. As we wait for those to see if they would like to be interviewed. Oster has joined the... so there is your P2 as we all wait to see if the race winner will come and join us for a few words.
Shouldn't we start off with the P3
We can
podium?
certainly start off with the P3 podium sitter, Luge. It's a very good drive from yourself, mate.
Thank you. I got to give that to Nick. Nick helped me a lot that race. It's a shame he got a puncture in the last lap. Yeah, could have got even more points, but overall it was a good race. It was lacking some front runner pace, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was
Can't
very
complain.
nice to see in the battle there. He was fighting for quite a few laps caught in that train as you were passing each other left, right and centre. It was a nice battle going on for, I'd say, at least half of the race, more than half of the race distance. You were all fighting there in that little DRS train for the podium positions. And you were also fighting with Oster, I believe, as well. But Oster came out on top with a decent strategy. Nick tried to go a bit longer on his tyres, just couldn't seem to get it work. But as you say, unfortunately, he got a bit of a puncher there. You qualified P2 in Monza, but you was in a bit of a rough and tough and didn't finish that race. But this race, you've come back with a strong result. Where did you qualify in this? Could you remind me?
Fifth. Qualified fifth.
So you was fifth in qualify, but managed to fight up and get yourself into a podium finish, which was mighty fine stuff. Do you want to give us a few words? How did it go for you? You happy with how things went? Your take on qualifying?
Qualifying was okay. I don't know. I didn't have the pace, I guess. But during the race, I tried to keep my my wheels clean, not like in Monza. I think I was too aggressive then, so that's why I crashed out in Monza and just tried to keep a cooler race this time around. So it worked out in the end.
That was nice to see, mate. Lovely to see. We got you in a nice fight a good few times, a nice few overtakes, and some good racecraft from yourself. It's a good P3 finish. I'll pass you over to Rob for any questions you may have.
I've got a good question, since you were most of the pack, how hard was it to stay with the pack? You know, it was fighting everywhere.
Uh, it wasn't too hard. The ERS was quite it wasn't as harsh as Monza. You could really use it a lot more, regenerate a lot more, so it was pretty easy to stay with the pack. But as soon as you don't have DRS, it was pretty hard to break away, even with a tire deficit. So yeah, it was good.
Well, congrats on that P3.
Thank you.
Yep, lovely stuff, mate. Beautiful P3 finish. We move on to Oster. P2. He won in Monza, but he just couldn't quite get it today. But he did go with a beautiful strategy which kept him fighting with the race winner of Josh. And it was a nice qualifying from yourself as well, I believe, getting yourself up there and really making your name here, getting yourself noticed. It's great racing we see from yourself as well with Josh. So congrats on the P2. Do you want to give us your rundown of it, how your quali went and your race?
No. Thank you. Yeah, it was alright. Annoyed, very annoyed, but yeah, quality was alright. The start was terrific. The hards were like ice cubes. Literally, not dropped to like 7th after the second lap, but made it back through, pulled away. The hards at the end of the hards was good. Boxed onto the meds, got ahead of the whole pack, so that was good. And then just prayed that Josh didn't get to me as quick as possible. But I knew that his tires would go eventually, so I just waited. And then, yeah, I just tried to fight him as hard as possible. And fortunately, the best man won. So,
Yeah, no, good
Yeah.
stuff, mate. Good stuff. It was nice to see you in that fight. You were really fighting it out there in the closing laps, trying to get yourself that race victory. It would have been 2 in a row as you won in Monza, like I said, and you qualified P3 in Monza. So again, you've certainly got some pace here. You're getting yourself up into the standings. You will still be P1 in the standings, I believe, because you won the last race and you got P2 this race, whereas
yeah.
Josh only got P4 in the last race, so the points deficit does keep you up there.
Yeah, that's good.
Now it was
Hope to hold it as much as possible.
lovely stuff, mate. It was nice to see you get that P2 finish and at least get yourself still up there in championship standings. I shall move you on to Rob now for any questions you may have.
How was your tires? I've noticed you stayed out a long time over these hard tires. How did they feel?
They're okay. They kind of got better as the stint went on. So, kind of hard took a while to kind of kick in. The wear kind of didn't. You couldn't really feel the wear. But the lap times were quite consistent, to be fair. I kind of think that's why I kind of stayed ahead of the whole pack once a bit, which is good. But you can still see Josh was still catching rapidly on fresh tires. But yeah, the tires felt alright. Kept it clean, so yeah.
Yeah, it was all clean. Do you think you could have won it, you know, towards the end? Because you were behind him. You had the advantage, you know, with that DRS as well.
Yeah, it's kind of just a little DRS war. But yeah, he was always kind of he had the fresher tires, the better tires. So I just tried to hold him as much as possible. Yeah, a bit disappointing because it was close, but yeah, he probably would have won anyway. In most scenarios, so yeah, not too annoyed.
Well, it is still early days, my friend. There's still potential for championship victory. You keep racing like this and you keep getting yourself into that chance for the race victory, and soon a championship could be yours. But that should do us for this nice little racing session around Bahrain. I bring you back to the cam screen just while we say our goodbyes, but I also want to bring up the calendar one last time so people know what to expect to see next week. So as you can see, we have just finished Bahrain. Next week we go to Hungary for race 3. So make sure you get yourselves tuned in for that. We want to see more action like this. We want to see more fighting like this. This is where it is, and this is what it's all about. It was a nice race from a lot of drivers. Some drivers that didn't really have the qualifying pace still got themselves into a nice bit of a battle there. So like we say, with Lugi managing to snatch that P3 away from the Nick, or potentially who else was there? Glitch 10, AMS Knight, the drivers that could potentially have been in that fight for that podium, but Lugia managed to get it on top, even though he qualified P5, and still had these drivers all over him, really fighting him hard for it. But we can certainly end it on that on a high note. It was a very good race to see, and yeah, thank you for joining us, and we shall see you next week.